जय गोपीजनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरवनचारी यमुनातीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरवनचारी यमुनातीरवनचारी जय राधा गोविंद राधा गोविंद राधे जय निताय गौरंग जय निताय गौरंग निताय गौरंग जय गौर हरि जय 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 प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। Hare Krishna. Today we are reading from 11th canto, chapter entitled The Story of Pingala, chapter 8, text number 31. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। हरे कृष्ण। संतं समीपे रमणं रतिप्रदं वित्तप्रदं नित्यमिमं विहाय अकामदं दुःखभयाधिशोक मोहप्रदं तुच्छमहं भजेज्ञा सन्तं समीपे रमणं रतिप्रदम् वित्तप्रदं नित्यमिमं विहाय अकामदं दुःखभयादिशोक मोहप्रदं तुच्छमहं भजज्ञे सन्तं समीपे रमणं रतिप्रदम् वित्तप्रदं नित्यमिमं विहाय अकामदं दुःखभयादिशोक मोहप्रदं तुच्छमहं भजेज्ञा रतिप्रदम् वित्तप्रदं नित्यमिमं विहाय कामदं दुःखभयादिशोक मोहप्रदं तुच्छमहं भजज्ञा सन्तं समीपे रमणं रतिप्रदम् वित्तप्रदं नित्यमिमं विहाय कामदं दुःखभयादिशोक मोहप्रदं तुच्छमहं भजज्ञा सन्तं समीपे रमणं रतिप्रदम् वित्तप्रदं नित्यमिमं विहाय अकामदं दुःखभयादिशोक मोहप्रदं तुच्छमहं भजज्ञा माताजी सन्तं समीपे रमणं रतिप्रदम् वित्तप्रदं नित्यमिमं विहाय अकामदं दुःखभयादिशोक मोहप्रदं तुच्छमहं भजज्ञा सन्तं समीपे रमणं रतिप्रदम् वित्तप्रदं नित्यमिमं विहाय अकामदं दुःखभयादिशोक मोहप्रदं तुच्छमहं भजज्ञा. Word meaning, translation and purport by disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Santam, being, Samipe, most near, in my heart, Ramanam, the most dear, Rati, actual love or pleasure, Pradam, giving, Vitta, prosperity, Pradam, giving, Nityam, eternal, Imam, him, Vihaya, giving up, Akamadam, who can never satisfy one's desires, Dukkha, misery, Bhaya, fear, Adi, mental distress, Shoka, lamentation, moha, illusion, pradam, giving, tucham, most insignificant, aham, I, bhaje, sarve, agya, an ignorant fool. Translation: I am such a fool that I have given up the service of that person who, being eternally situated within my heart, is actually most dear to me. That most dear one is the Lord of the universe, who is the bestower of real love and happiness and the source of all prosperity. Although he is in my own heart, I have completely neglected him. Instead, I have ignorantly served insignificant men who can never satisfy my real desires and who have simply brought me unhappiness, fear, anxiety, lamentation, and illusion. Purport: Pingala laments that she chose to serve most sinful, useless men. She falsely thought they would bring her happiness and neglected to serve the actual Lord of her heart, actual Lord of the heart, Krishna. She could understand how foolishly she had struggled for money, not knowing that Supreme Lord is always inclined to award prosperity to his sincere devotee. The prostitute was proud of her ability to please men, but she now laments that she did not try to please the Supreme Lord by loving service. The Supreme Lord is completely aloof from the transactions of the material world. Lord Krishna is the actual enjoyer of everyone and everything. But one must learn how to please the Lord by pure spiritual service. Om Jnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shri Mate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Taking the order from His Grace Acharya Ratna Prabhu on my head, I am trying to discuss something on this purport. I seek all the devotees' blessing sitting here, and it's I came here to take nourishment. Prabhuji has to speak. So this is section is story of Pingala, in which Pingala situation is being described. Last 3-4 days we all had the feast of hearing from Bhakti Dev Damodar Maharaj, then Revati Dhruv, then before that Shukdev Maharaj. So having tasted feast for last 3 days, 2 days little simple, so devotees can be satisfied with whatever we discussed today. and definitely devotees can add to make it complete. So we had a discussion about detachment in 2 days before class, before 2 days, and then there was discussion about how frustration was detachment, frustration, and today we will see a little bit about lamentation. The lamentation that Pingala feeling in her heart. Lamentation, we will discuss lamentation of a conditioned soul, lamentation of a practicing devotee, and the lamentation of a pure devotee. So as we see the living entities in this world, they're always going through this constant hankering and lamentation. When there is desire for any object, there is a strong hankering to obtain it. So as soon as the living entity sees some sense object, it desires to have it, and to obtain that there are many plans made, and to execute that plan there are so many efforts made. The whole driving impetus is the hankering that the living entity carries for that. And when the efforts are fruitless and he does not get the desired object, then he comes to the state of lamentation. So this way, either the absorption is in hankering on how to obtain the object of his desire, and if he has not obtained it or failed to obtain it, then there is absorption in the lamentation. So constantly this swing from lamentation to hankering, lamentation, hankering is going on. So having succumbed to this two phases, the living entity continues for long time. So that is the state. Then there are many examples in Bhagavatam which talk about this situation of lamentation and hankering. And out of these two, hankering and lamentation, the state of lamentation is much conducive for spiritual progress. If you see in the case of Chitraketu, he had everything what a person in this world would aspire for. He had a kingdom, he had obedient followers, he has beautiful wives, so much of power, and a peaceful country where he was ruling. And the only thing that he was lacking is a baby, a child, a descendant. And he was hankering for the baby so much. Well, whomever he would meet, any sages, he would ask about that. And when Angira Muni comes, right, to his home, Angira Muni is trying to give him advice, but the advice is not sinking in because his consciousness is hooked onto how to get a child. Can the sage help me to obtain a child? So his mind was completely, illusioned, or when there is hankering to obtain an object, there is a moha, that illusion is there in the consciousness. The person cannot see anything else. The attachment to the object or the hankering is so strong, the intelligence does not work. Intelligence works only to attain that object. And any other thing a person does not see. So that was the state of Chitraketu. But then the sage saw that he needs an experience. So then he gives a child in blessing. Then when the child is born, and the whole pastime, and how the child was poisoned and the child died. And when both the king and queen come to know, Chitraketu as a king, if you read the description, the kind of lamentation he shows. A king is a Kshatriya. Kshatriyas are very courageous. It's very hard to make them cry. You can't easily. They're very strong. But then when the child dies, then the king is not only crying, he is not able to maintain himself. He is not able to even walk properly. Such a state of lamentation, he cries and falls, cries and falls, cries and falls. Then at this time, again the sage comes, Angira Muni along with Narad Muni. Now he is in his mind there are so many questions. Why it happened so? I finally had a child, but what is the mistake that happened? What happened? There is a quest, there is a inquisitiveness to find the cause why it happened in the state of lamentation. So then he was ready to listen the instructions from the sages. Then Angira Muni gives him instruction. Then Narad Muni brings the child back to life. And then when the child speaks, the philosophy sings. So in the state of lamentation, the person's attention from the object of his attachment has moved to the finding the cause of not being able to get that object. So that search for the cause, inquisitiveness, makes him little open-minded to understand the instruction. So therefore, when Chitraketu was in that state, all the instructions that Narad Muni gave immediately sink into his heart. And then within 1 week of his practice, such intense, he attained the darshan of Sankarshan. So we can see that the state of lamentation of a living entity in this world has some purpose, and it is a better state than the living entity state of hankering. It's very hard to try to bring a person who is in the state of hankering to bhakti than a person who is in a state of lamentation. They're generally more open. So this is I was hearing long back one lecture of Prabhupada in temple. So Prabhupada there says that Krishna is fulfilling the desires of living entity in this world one after another, just to show that nothing is satisfying me. So I'm enjoying this, I'm enjoying that, everything is being enjoyed, but ultimately nothing is satisfying me fully. To give that understanding, Krishna is fulfilling the desires of the living entities. Material desires also he is fulfilling. See, ye leke dekho, satisfy nahi ho raha, try everything. Now you understood, not able to satisfy anything. That nothing is able to satisfy you. So that experience he gives, because after enjoying everything, when he gets frustrated, still that vacuum is felt. So living entity going through various sufferings in this world in the form of lamentation, hankering, that has some purpose. It is made for a specific purpose, that he can realize that nothing is going to satisfy me. So whenever there is a state of lamentation, there is a that gives rise to inquisitiveness. A lot of questions come in the mind. We can see sometimes when someone's very near and dear departs, even among devotees or relatives, the question comes, why it happened? Although he or she is practicing, why it happened to me, all that. So that it's natural, whenever there is a state of lamentation, there is a inquisitiveness that arises. So Pingala is also in similar state. Whole night she was aspiring for a profit, money, a customer. But then when she was frustrated, she got all these thoughts. So we can see that how lamentation of a conditioned soul is. In the state of lamentation, when the conditioned soul gets the association of a jiva, then he is most fortunate. Immediately he absorbs the sangha of a sadhu. So here, at least Pingala does not have here, but still she is getting some understanding that there is Supreme Lord. It is not the lamentation or just contemplation that gives rise to bhakti or understanding of the Lord. It is some association which she might have taken in the past, which is not described here. So anybody who is turning to bhakti in a state of misery or lamentation, definitely there is some association of any sadhu taken in this life in the past or in the past lives. Otherwise, the bhakti cannot move anywhere without the heart of a sadhu, without the sadhu's association. So that part is there. Therefore, she is getting some realization here that there is someone in my heart. The Lord within my heart is the actual person who is supposed to be offered enjoyment, not anything, any person of this world. So that is the state of lamentation she is going through. And those who are practicing devotees, they also go through lamentation whenever they are not able to follow the principles of devotional service. We can see that sometimes when, in case of, sometimes when we are not able to follow some principle of devotional service, which we have committed to follow daily, and suddenly we fail to follow out of slump, sleep, or whatever, then there is lamentation. Oh, I should not have done it. Again, sometimes students in our boys, when they go home, they end up watching movies and all in television. But then they feel, I should not have watched. They just got tempted to switch on that TV and see some interesting movie going on, and they feel 5 minutes, 5 minutes dekh lunga. Then they watch 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Then they watch full movie. Sometimes they come and tell Prabhu, aisa hua, waisa hua. So then there is a feeling of lamentation. Oh, I should not have watched it. So this feeling is good. That it's a sign that he has made progress. He is not feeling, wah, kya maza aaya. Fir se mauka mila to fir se karunga. He is not having that state. That's the state of the consciousness has gone down. But when there is a state that after having done something which is not supposed to be done, a devotee feels that repentance or lamentation, that's the sign of sincerity, which is talked about in 11th canto, 20th chapter, verse number 27 and 28. Very nice verses devotees can read. So there the state of a sincere sadhaka is shown when he laments. There is a genuine feeling that comes. When there is such a feeling, then his heart softens more and more. With this, when he chants, you can think how he will chant. When he genuinely feeling that, oh, I should not have done that. It is something similar to what Bharat Maharaj underwent. Although externally it may be seen that there is a fall down or something, but internally what the devotee is going through, Jada Bharat Maharaj, when he was in the forest, he got attracted to the deer, and eventually he compromised on his spiritual practices. And finally he was distracted, and when he left the body out of attachment to the deer, then in the next life he got the body of a deer. Now externally if we see, from the human form he glided down to animal life. But then if you see his state of consciousness, he is more alert and more conscious and more desperate of taking shelter of Krishna than when he was in a human body. So this is a state. He's more alert now that, oh, what I did, I should not have done it. So this state of lamentation is a state of a devotee, practicing devotee. So therefore, sometimes externally we may see some devotee has done some mistake or going through some situation. Externally he may be given some discipline or some external discipline may be given, but internally we can see that the devotee is continuing practicing devotional service. So therefore, whenever any devotee has done some small mistakes like this, so that need not be taken too seriously. But in the sense, externally there is some discipline to be offered, but then the devotee's devotional service is to be respected. So that's how a devotee's lamentation is. That is how it goes through. And there is lamentation that pure devotees express in the songs of Narottam Das Thakur or the pastimes of Srinivasacharya, where they are lamenting lamenting for not having obtained the association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and their devotees. So that's a spiritual state of lamentation. So lamentation is a feeling that a person gets when a person becomes a devotee. It's not that he will not lament. The feelings of lamentation will be spiritual. They'll be towards spiritual things. They will not be towards material things, but towards spiritual things. But the feeling of lamentation will be there. Yeah. So this was about little bit about the state of lamentation that a person goes through. And also in this purport, there is one more thing that we can see. Shri Shri Nitai Gaurang ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. So here, if you read the translation, I am such a fool that I have given up the service of that person who, being eternally situated within my heart, is actually most dear to me. She is recognizing now Krishna within her heart. Who is, what does he do within her heart? She says ahead. That most dear one is the Lord of the universe, who is the bestower of real love and happiness, and the source of all prosperity. She is looking for some prosperity from the people of this world who are passing by. That this person will favor me, this person will give me money, or this person will have more money. So she is aspiring for prosperity from different person who is passing by. But actually, the source of all prosperity of this world is sitting more closer to her than any of the person who are walking around. So that is Lord within herself. So although he is in my own heart, I have completely neglected him. So Krishna within our heart is facilitating us right from the time we are in this world. But we are not able to recognize it, how he is doing, what he is doing. He is sitting as a Paramatma and is waiting when he will identify me, when he will recognize my love towards him. So that, what you say, that love, the person who is loving us the most, he is situated most close to us. Only thing is we need to recognize his love that is offering us. And if we all see how we all came to Krishna consciousness, we can see that there is Krishna's plan made for me to give this gift of bhakti by so many ways. Oh, if that would not have happened, I would not have met devotees. Oh, if this would not have happened, I would not have got this in bhakti. We can trace it. If you reflect on your own Krishna conscious journey, we can see that Krishna has orchestrated many things. Sometimes even the situations which we considered very troublesome, why Krishna has put me in this, later we realize that how that was a favor that was done to us at that time. So there are many devotees, all of you must have experience of this, that how some situation very troublesome you felt, but then later you realize that that was done for my own good, which you are able to realize it now. So those are all Krishna's arrangements that he has been doing. But at the moment, sometimes we feel, where is Krishna? Why this is happening? So all those thoughts come. But Krishna is always facilitating us to progress in bhakti at every moment. Though we may not be able to see him face to face, but we can recognize his contribution by seeing our past, wherever he has helped. So that he is doing for every living entity. So he is the one who is most dear to the jiva and facilitates everyone. I think 2-3 days today is 12th. 14th is Valentine's Day. Everyone thinks their Valentine is this person, but actual Valentine is sitting inside the heart, the most dear person. So Pingala is recognizing that now, having gone through that, and We were also wandering in this world, pursuing graduation in some college, and suddenly devotees come and they introduce Krishna. They help us recognize Krishna. And Prabhupada has done such a extraordinary service by helping so many living entities to identify their eternal Valentine, to identify him. And Kolkata is a very place of Srila Prabhupada, and any service done in this place is definitely going to get not only blessings of Prabhupada but all the devotees across ISKCON, because whole world is looking at at least all the devotees of ISKCON are looking at Kolkata. Their attention is there. It's a place of Prabhupada's birth. I'm fortunate to come here for 3 days and be here, spend time, and attend morning program with all of you and spend time with the devotees here. So this is my little thoughts on this shloka. I request devotees to add on this. Any comments, corrections? Arvind Gopal Prabhu, he had prepared for the class. He can add. Fuji, you can also add on this. Perfect. This is 11.20.27.28. Having awakened faith in the narrations of my glories, being disgusted with all material activities, knowing that all sense gratification leads to misery, but still being unable to renounce all sense enjoyment, my devotee should remain happy and worship me with great faith and conviction. Even though he is sometimes engaged in sense enjoyment, my devotee knows that all sense gratification leads to a miserable result, and he sincerely repents such activities. So there is this verse gives an outlook towards how a devotee should see other devotees. We can see in Bhagavad Gita also there are shlokas, apiche suduracharo bhajate mamananyabhak sadhureva samantavya samyak vyavasito hi sat. So this is what a sincere devotee, when he commits a mistake, he goes through. So therefore it is said they should not be condemned, because they are in a good state of consciousness. Although externally they are disciplined or punished or whatever, but the state of consciousness is very good. So therefore it's very much appreciated. He is a progressive devotee within, because bhakti is a internal. It is not just external activities. More than external activities, it is internal. And relation with Krishna, it is internal. Krishna sees from within. The whole world may see from outside what we are doing, how we are doing, but Krishna sees from within. He does not see from just outside. He knows our heart. So therefore, the approach to Krishna has to be very, very genuine. Or somebody may think, oh, after committing mistake, if we lament, oh, that's a good state of consciousness, then I can commit many mistakes. No. There is a genuine feeling in the heart to approach Krishna. So therefore, the sincerity in practice becomes very essential. The genuine aspiration within heart to become a devotee or to practice devotional service. The beginning stage of pure devotional service is described here by the Lord. A sincere devotee has practically seen that all material activities lead only to sense gratification, and all sense gratification leads only to misery. Thus, a devotee's sincere desire is to engage 24 hours a day in the loving service of Lord without any personal motivation. The devotee sincerely desires to be established in his constitutional position as the Lord's eternal servitor, and he prays to the Lord to elevate him to his exalted position. To this exalted position, the word Anishwara indicates that because of one's past sinful activities and bad habits, one may not immediately be able to completely extinguish the enjoying spirit. The Lord here encourages such a devotee not to be overly depressed or morose, but to remain enthusiastic and to go on with his loving service. The word Nirvinna indicates that a sincere devotee, although somewhat entangled in the remnants of sense gratification, is completely disgusted with material life and under no circumstances willingly commits sinful activities. In fact, he avoids every kind of materialistic activity. The word Kaman basically refers to sex attraction and its byproducts in the form of children, home, and so forth. Within the material world, the sex impulse is so strong that even a sincere candidate in the loving service of the Lord may sometimes be distracted by sex attraction or by lingering sentiments for wife and children. A pure devotee certainly feels spiritual affection for all living entities, including the so-called wife and children, but he knows that material bodily attraction leads to no good, for it simply entangles one and one's so-called relatives in the miserable chain reaction of fruitive activities. The word Dhrida Nishchaya, steadfast conviction, indicates that in any circumstance, a devotee is completely determined to go on with his prescribed duties for Krishna. Thus, he thinks, by my previous shameful life, my heart is polluted with many illusory attachments. Personally, I have no power to stop them. Only Lord Krishna within my heart can remove such inauspicious contamination. But whether the Lord removes such attachments immediately or lets me go on being afflicted by them, I will never give up my devotional service to Him. Even if the Lord places millions of obstacles in my path, and even if because of my offenses I go to hell, I will never for a moment stop serving Lord Krishna. I am not interested in mental speculation and fruitive activities. Even if Lord Brahma personally comes before me offering such engagements, I will not be even slightly interested. Although I am attached to material things, I can see very clearly that they lead to no good because they simply give me trouble and disturb my devotional service to the Lord. Therefore, I sincerely repent my foolish attachments to so many material things, and I am patiently awaiting Lord Krishna's mercy. The word Prita indicates that a devotee feels exactly like the son or subject of Supreme Personality of Godhead and is very attached to his relationship with the Lord. Therefore, although sincerely lamenting occasional lapses into sense enjoyment, he never gives up his enthusiasm to serve Lord Krishna. If a devotee becomes too morose or discouraged in devotional service, he may drift into an impersonal consciousness or give up his devotional service to the Lord. Therefore, the Lord here advises that although one should sincerely repent, he should not become chronically depressed. One should understand that because of his past sins, he must occasionally suffer disturbances from the material mind and senses. But one should not therefore become a devotee of detachment, as do the speculative philosophers. Although one may desire detachment to purify one's devotional service to the Lord, if one becomes more concerned with renunciation than with acting for the pleasure of Lord Krishna, he is misunderstanding the position of loving devotional service. Faith in Lord Krishna is so powerful that in due course of time it will automatically award detachment and perfect knowledge. If one gives up Lord Krishna as the central object of one's worship, concentrates more on knowledge and detachment, one will become deviated from one's progress in going back home, back to Godhead. A sincere devotee of the Lord must be sincerely convinced that simply by strength of devotional service and the mercy of Lord Krishna, he will achieve everything auspicious in life. One must believe that Lord Krishna is all merciful and that he is the only real goal of one's life. Such determined faith, combined with a sincere desire to give up sense enjoyment, will carry one past the obstacles of his world. The word Jata Shraddha Mat Kathasu are most significant here. By faithful hearing of the mercy and glories of the Lord, one will gradually be freed from all material desire and clearly see at every moment the utter frustration of sense gratification. Chanting the glories of the Lord with firm faith and conviction is a tremendously powerful spiritual process that enables one to give up material association. There is actually nothing inauspicious in the devotional service of the Lord. Occasional difficulties experienced by a devotee are due to his previous material activities. On the other hand, the endeavor for sense gratification is completely inauspicious. Thus, sense gratification and devotional service are directly opposed to each other. In all circumstances, one should therefore remain the Lord's sincere servant, always believing in his mercy. Then one will certainly go back home, back to Godhead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the wonderful class. So, my question is, what is the difference between lamentation and guilt? Is there any relation between them?
Both appear to be similar. There is a acceptance of the mistake committed in both. The lamentation is more generic. Lamentation can be over the loss of some object also. Guilt is more towards oneself. It's feeling of having oneself committed some mistake. So we can say, I think guilt is more specifically towards mistake, that feeling committed after having committed mistake. If I lose an object, I don't feel guilt. I feel lamentation. But if I commit a mistake, I feel guilt. But lamentation is more broader in description. This is what I understand. Someone else can add if they know more better. Yeah.
Puji, like in this purport, it is written about a devotee should not be overly become detached and should not become a devotee of detachment, and one should one's focus should not go from loving devotional service to detachment. That is mentioned in this purport that you read. Can you explain this, like how we can overcome if we are going in that direction?
Yeah. Here in the purport it's mentioned that whenever a devotee out of his past material attachment ends up engaging in some sense enjoyment, then one may immediately think that I have to work on just giving up this sense object, keeping it away. The focus should not go on detaching oneself. Rather, what actually is going to detach his consciousness from the object is devotional service. So therefore, the focus should be on devotional service. If we see the stage of anartha nivritti, that is a stage when bhakti removes the obstacles, anarthas, which are anarthas, from the life of a devotee. There is more focus on cultivating a relation with Krishna or practicing devotional service, angas of bhakti, than cultivating detachment. Detachment is sometimes practiced seeing that it is creating obstruction in my bhakti. Therefore, detachment is required. Otherwise, detachment is, that focus is not there. That is not the process. Process is to practice bhakti, and whatever is favorable for that, accept it. Whatever is unfavorable for that, give it up. That is actual detachment. Detachment is a, what do you say? It's a byproduct. It's not a main practice. If you see in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the list of angas which are listed as 64, that does not contain detachment. In fact, it is listed as not an anga of bhakti. It is listed as varnashram and vairagya. These are all not angas of bhakti, but they are sometimes favorable. It's depending on situation. They are favorable for bhakti, but they themselves do not give rise to devotion in the heart. The practice of detachment is not going to give rise to the devotion in the heart. But when we practice devotional service, and when the devotion in the heart grows towards the Lord, then naturally detachment comes. So therefore, focus should be on practicing bhakti. And whatever is unfavorable, that we can give up. That is called not focusing on detachment, not becoming a devotee of detachment. Hope it makes sense.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu, for your nice class. This you said that the lamentation, it is conducive to the spiritual life. So it is said that nama aparad, nama bhas, then suddha nam. So in nama bhas stage, one should chant in lamentation comes. So my question is that it should be cultivated, or how it goes? Can you explain that how this lamentation comes? So somebody is lamenting for his not, as you said that sloka is lamenting. So it should be cultivated, or it will come just like that? Or how is the process?
My focus is when there is devotional service practice. These feelings of lamentation which we talked about, there are two things we spoke about. One was about a practicing devotee's lamentation. One is a pure devotee's lamentation. So right now, the focus which we need to pay attention is practicing devotee's lamentation. That is not, I think that is not cultivated. As we practice devotional service sincerely, whenever our mind gets attracted to other objects than Krishna, we get distracted. Then naturally the feeling of lamentation comes. Oh, mera man udhar ja raha hai. I want to focus on this, but my mind is getting distracted. So I feel it's a byproduct of sincere practice of devotional service. The feelings of lamentation of a practicing devotee are byproduct of his sincerity in the practice.
Thank you so much for Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for this class. My question was Prabhuji from this purport. Pingala is saying that the Lord is most dear one and Lord of the universe, who is the bestower of real love and happiness and the source of all prosperity. He is sitting in our heart. So my question was that we know, means we understand this by reading purport, but in our practical life, in our day-to-day life, we sometimes forgot to see that we also means even after coming devotion service for small things, sometimes we start lamenting that today this some monetary issue comes or something, like if we are running and catching some vehicle, so if it misses, so we start lamenting. And our practically whatever something situation comes, even in our services also. So how we can in our practical situation see the loving uh, this the love of Lord, who is the source of all happiness and source of all prosperity, because we sometimes lack that seeing the Lord mercy.
Yeah, maybe by reading purports like this, we become contemplative about those things. As we practice devotional service and spend gradually progress, then eventually person's consciousness blossoms. Then he starts seeing what is uh, temporary and what is to be taken seriously and what is not to be taken seriously. In the day-to-day life, there are many things that happen. There is some convenience, then some favor received at some time, and there is some loss and some difficulty at other times. So those external situations that we face, we have to deal with that as required. But as we progress, the feeling of lamentation or disturbance will reduce if we are practicing properly and keeping right consciousness. So as the devotee progresses, the disturbance that we feel by situations of this world reduces. But the problems will come. But within the consciousness, the disturbance will not be so much. Still, we have to deal with that. So that will happen. One devotee was saying that, one working devotee, he was saying, Prabhu, in my office, my colleagues takes meeting discussions and problems that come, issues that come so seriously as if that is the life. But I have seen when I have become a devotee, since I have become a devotee, when I'm in office, I do all those meeting things, and then when I'm out, I'm out. I know that I need to do that duty for the sake of doing it. It's a responsibility there, but that is not the life. We need to understand whatever in our day-to-day routine, whatever ups and downs that come through in our dealing with the people or any services, little bit up and down may be there, but that is not the ultimate. It's one of the intermediate phases. If not this way, then some other way. But ultimately, anything will happen only when there is desire of Krishna and Acharyas. That is going to happen. If not this way, some other way it will happen. So, knowing this, the devotee gives up lamentation over small petty things that come in our day-to-day life.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much for tolerating, adjusting. Here there are many devotees from Kharagpur voice. So I have gained special favors from devotees of Kharagpur voice. When I was in college studying, His Grace Vyasacharya Prabhu came and gave DY session and he was preaching there for many years. So he is also from Kharagpur. So by his mercy, I came to devotional service and got the association of devotees. And then after joining ashram, getting to serve under Revati Prabhu and devotees like that. So another favor. Now came here and stayed for a few days with Kharagpur devotees, many devotees. Hare Krishna. Feeling happy being here. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.